Hello students, this is for class 10th, subject computer application, topic internet protocols. Students, in the last video you must have seen about the internet protocol, that is TCP IP. Now the next internet protocol, SMTP. We talk about SMTP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is a standard electronic mail protocol that handles the sending of mail from one SMTP to another SMTP server. That means from one server to another server, the email messages are sent through SMTP. To accomplish the transport, the SMTP server has its own MX, that is mail exchanger, record in the DNS database. DNS stands for domain name system, that correspond to the domain for which it is configured to receive mail. When equipped for two-way communication, mail clients are configured with the address of a POP3 server. That is, POP3 is used for receiving the mail. SMTP is for transferring the mail between server to server, but POP3 is to receive the mail. An address of an SMTP server to send mail. The client can configure server parameters in the properties sheet of the mail client, basing the choices on an FQDN or an IP address. SMTP uses TCP for communication and operates on port 25. Remember, each protocol has its different port. I must have told you about the port 21, like for FTP we have 21, for SFTP we have 22. In the same way, SMTP has 25. So Simple Mail Transfer Protocol is the application layer protocol. In the last video you must have seen, it is an application layer protocol used for transmitting email messages. I think that's enough for SMTP. Let's proceed for next. POP3, that is Post Office Protocol 3, version 3, or IMAP 4, that is Internet Message Access Protocol, version 4. So POP3 and IMAP 4 are two application layer protocols used for electronic messaging across the internet. POP3 is a protocol that involves both a server and a client. A POP3 server receives an email message and holds it for the user, and a POP3 client application periodically checks the mailbox on the server to download mail. POP3 does not allow client to send mail. Remember, to send mail SMTP is there, but to receive the mail POP3 is there. Only it allows to receive it. Now here given that POP3 transfers email messages over TCP port number 110. To perform these functions, means transferring function, user must have continued access to the IMAP server while they are working with email messages. With IMAP 4, an email message is copied from the server to the mail client. When a user deletes the message in the email client, the message remains on the server until it is deleted on the server. POP3 works differently in that an email message is downloaded and not maintained on the server unless configured otherwise. Therefore, the difference between POP3 and IMAP 4 is that IMAP 4 acts like a remote file server, while POP3 acts in a store and forward manner. Remember this. Next, the protocols of internet, that is HTTP. You must have heard many times this name, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is often called the protocol of internet. HTTP received this designation because most internet traffic is based on HTTP. Most of the sites, most of the links, web pages we access through HTTP only. When a user requests a web resource, it is requested using HTTP only. This is the example for HTTP request. First we write http://www.anysiteaddress.com, for example example.com. Nowadays mobile and computers browser already have HTTP link, means whenever we type any address of website, HTTP automatically is there. When a client enters the address into a web browser, DNS is called to resolve the fully qualified domain name to an IP address. When the address is resolved, an HTTP GET request is sent to the web server. And when the web server responds with an HTTP SEND response, such communication is done several times. Means sending the request from the client to the server and sending the service from server to the client. This is done several times throughout a single session to a website. And HTTP uses TCP also for the communication between client and server. Next is HTTPS. You must have heard this. Nowadays it is trending. Most of the times HTTPS are being used for the different websites. It is a secured hypertext transfer protocol. Hypertext transfer protocol secure. It is for website using additional security. Both are same. HTTP and HTTPS both are same. Only the difference is in HTTPS there are additional security features such as certificates. HTTPS is used when web transactions are required to be secure, like bank transactions or the government transactions or some other VeriSign or verification is required. Then only HTTPS is used. Next is SSH. Okay, now the internet protocols have been finished. Now we will talk about the remote login and file transfer protocol, that are SSH, SFTP, FTP, SCP, Telnet. SMTP and TCP IP we have already told, so we will tell only about SSH, SFTP, FTP and SCP. So what is SSH? Just now you have heard the HTTPS. So SSH is for that only, secure shell. SSH stands for secure shell. It is a program for logging into and executing commands on a remote machine. It provides secure encrypted communication between two untrusted hosts. Remember, if you want to establish secure encrypted communication, then you have to use the SSH layer, that is secure shell layer. Now here given that when SSH connects and logs into a specified computer, the user must prove his or her identity. For security reason, the user must prove his or her identity to the remote machine, which is transmitted across the connection using one of three forms of data encryption. This process makes SSH impervious to internet eavesdroppers who might otherwise steal account information. Means in this case, in the case of using SSH, the network information, the account information or secured information cannot be stolen. Next is SFTP, that is FTP only but with secured feature. So SFTP, secure file transfer protocol. SSH, file transfer protocol, or SFTP. You can say SFTP is also known as SSH-FTP, is a network protocol that provides file transfer and manipulation functionality over any reliable data stream with security features. And there is TFTP. It is also the form of FTP only, that is trivial file transfer protocol. It is used when a file transfer does not require an acknowledgement packet during the file transfer. Means when it does not require any acknowledgement whether the file is transferred, received at the client side or not, then only TFTP is used. TFTP is used often in router configuration. TFTP is similar in operation to FTP. One of the two primary differences between TFTP and FTP is speed and authentication. Remember this difference. Because TFTP is used without acknowledgement packet, it is usually faster than FTP. FTP uses the acknowledgement. That's why FTP is slower, but TFTP is faster. Rest you can study. Let's proceed further. FTP, File Transfer Protocol, one of the earliest uses of the internet long before web browsing came along, was transferring files between computers. Means before coming up different other protocols, first of all FTP was there, which was transmitting the files between the computers. The FTP is used to connect to remote computers, list shared files, and either upload or download the files between the local and the remote computers. FTP runs over TCP, which provides a connection-oriented guaranteed data delivery service. FTP is a character-based command interface, although many FTP applications have graphical interface, but initially it was developed for command interface. Remember, FTP is still used for transfer purpose, most commonly as a central FTP server. I had told in the last videos when I was telling the steps for how to download file from remote site, there was the use of FTP only. Next is SCP. SCP stands for Secure Copy Protocol. SCP is a means of securely transferring computer files between a local and a remote host or between two remote hosts using the Secure Shell protocol. In the step of downloading file from remote site, I had told this, how to copy the files from remote site to your local computer and how to copy the files. Suppose this is your local computer and this is the server computer. So from the server computer, when you copy some file or when you upload some file, in both the process you are using SCP, Secure Copy Protocol, with the help of SSH. Okay, the protocol itself does not provide authentication and security. It accepts the underlying protocol, that is SSH, to provide the security. The SCP protocol implements file transfers only. Just now you have been told. It does so by connecting to the host using SSH and there executes an SCP server. Telnet. It stands for Telecommunication Network, a virtual terminal protocol allowing a user logged onto the one TCP/IP host to access other hosts on the network. Many people use remote control applications to access computers at their workplace from outside the network. Then in that case, means outside the network, if they are accessing remote control application, for that they will use Telnet. In remote control, a session appears in which the user is able to manage the files on the remote computer, although the session appears to be functioning locally also. Telnet is an early version of a remote control application. Remember, nowadays FTP is there, SSH and SCP is there, but earlier there was Telnet. You can often use Telnet to manage equipment that locks a monitor. For example, most routers have Telnet enabled so that the administrator can log in and manage the router. Telnet also provides a quick check to make certain that network connectivity is functioning properly or not. Because Telnet sits at the application layer, if it can connect to a remote host, you can be certain that network connectivity between two hosts is operational, as well as lower layer protocols. Thank you for watching.